This judge ruled against my father before we even went to trial. He ruled against our entire family. It was a setup from the very beginning.
In a riveting turn of events, the aftermath of a recent court decision has placed Trump's children squarely in the public eye, struggling to navigate the consequences on live television.
This is 5 times worse than we thought it would be. Everyone's screaming about Russia, 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 but the reality is what we complain about in Russia is happening right here in the United States of America.
Today's video delves into the intricacies of that court judgment, dissecting its impact on Trump's offspring and shedding light on the broader legal challenges faced by the Trump Organization. The court judgment. On February 16, 2024, Donald Trump was slammed with a jaw-dropping penalty for allegedly inflating his net worth.
The largest judgment to date has been issued against former President Donald Trump. Judge Engoron has imposed a penalty of more than $350 million against Donald Trump, as well as his adult sons and his corporation.
This penalty is a direct consequence of his years-long scheme to deceive banks, insurers, and others by inflating his wealth on financial statements. But the true cost to Trump could be far greater. Under state law, Trump is also required to pay interest on the penalties, which means he could be on the hook for over $450 million in total. This additional amount, which will be paid to the state, will continue to grow until Trump fulfills his financial obligations. The penalties extend beyond Trump himself. His 2 eldest sons, Eric and Donald Trump Jr., have been ordered to pay $4 million each. These penalties represent their share of profits from the 2022 sale of Trump's Washington, D.C. hotel. The court's decision holds them accountable for their involvement in the fraudulent scheme. The former longtime chief financial officer of the Trump Organization has also been hit with a penalty. He is ordered to pay $1 million, half of the $2 million severance he is receiving. The court's ruling sends a clear message that those who participate in fraudulent activities will face consequences. The total amount owed by Trump and his co-defendants is a staggering $364 million. However, this amount grows to $464 million when interest is included. The penalties imposed by the court reflect the ill-gotten gains that Trump and his company attained through their fraudulent practices. The court ruling not only imposes financial penalties, but also brings significant changes to the Trump Organization. Judge Engoron has imposed a 3-year ban on Trump serving as an officer or director of any New York company. This ban extends to his sons, Eric and Donald Trump Jr., for a period of 2 years. The judge's decision places the Trump Organization under the supervision of an independent monitor, retired federal judge Barbara Jones, for at least 3 years. This oversight aims to prevent further fraudulent activities within the organization and ensure compliance with financial reporting obligations and rules. The court ruling marks a significant setback for the Trump Organization and its future operations. This ruling has the potential to reshape Trump's personal fortune and real estate empire that played a significant role in his journey to the White House. The company will need to find new leadership to navigate these challenging times and restore trust in its business practices. The days of unchecked power and fraudulent behavior are over. Judge Arthur Engoron, in a scathing 92-page opinion, concluded that Trump and his co-defendants were likely to continue their fraudulent ways without penalties and controls. This ruling has had far-reaching consequences and has sparked intense debates and discussions across the nation. First and foremost, the ruling has highlighted the Trump's Foundation's lack of contrition and their failure to accept responsibility for their actions. The judge's scathing remarks about their behavior, bordering on pathological, have left many astounded. This lack of remorse has further fueled public outrage and scrutiny. The ruling has also dismissed various defenses put forth by the defendants, including claims that third-party accounting companies were to blame for the false financial statements. This sends a clear message that the responsibility lies squarely on the shoulders of the Trump Organization and its key individuals. Financially, the implications of this ruling are significant. With a fine of $354 million, not including interest, the defendants are facing a massive financial burden. Taking interest into account, Trump's debt ballooned to a staggering $453.5 million as of the day of the ruling, as outlined by the New York Attorney General's office. Judge Engoron, citing a 9% interest rate, decreed that interest began accumulating on the fines in March 2019, May 2022, and June 2023. This adds an additional $98.6 million to the already hefty sum owed by Trump. Importantly, the interest continues to accrue irrespective of any potential appeals by Trump. Even in the face of legal challenges, he remains obligated to either post an appeals bond or deposit funds into a court-controlled account. The 9% interest rate translates to an annual interest of $31.9 million, breaking down to $2.7 million monthly, $614,196 weekly, and $87,502 daily. Fast forward to Tuesday, a mere 4 days post Engoron's ruling, and Trump's mounting debt has surged to $453.9 million, according to a penalty calculator crafted by Associated Press journalist Mike Sislak. This signifies an approximate increase of $350,000 in just a matter of days, underscoring the financial whirlwind triggered by the court's resounding decision. This raises questions about Trump's ability to pay such a hefty sum and has left many wondering about the future of his business ventures. Letitia James, the New York Attorney General, has stated that she is prepared to seize Trump's buildings if he is unable to fulfill the financial obligations imposed by the ruling.
If he does not have funds to pay off the judgment, then we will seek, judgment enforcement mechanisms in court, and we will ask the judge to seize his assets.
As news of the court ruling broke, Trump reacted with defiance, claiming that he was being penalized for his success and that he had done nothing wrong.
I just want to say this. You build a great company. There was no fraud. The banks all got their money, 100%. They love Trump. They testified that Trump is great customer, one of our best customers. They testified beautifully. And the judge knows that. He's just a corrupt person.
The ruling has garnered reactions from various parties, including the Republican National Committee, which has provided financial support for Trump's legal defense. Supporters of Trump argue that the case is politically motivated, while critics view the ruling as a necessary step towards accountability and justice. The consequences of this ruling extend beyond the fines and restrictions imposed on the Trump family. The court's decision has left the Trump Organization in a constrained position to continue operating their New York-based businesses. While Judge Engoron backtracked on his previous order to cancel their business certificates, Donald Trump and his sons are temporarily unable to lead their namesake company. Trump faces a 3-year ban on serving as the leader of a New York company, while his sons face 2-year bans. Additionally, an independent monitor will oversee the company's finances for at least 3 years, and a director of compliance must be installed. The combined impact of the fines, restrictions, and oversight measures poses significant challenges for the Trump Organization. The case has garnered significant attention from various news outlets, including CNN, The Hill, BBC News, Bloomberg Law, and The New York Times. The media coverage has been extensive, reflecting the magnitude of this ruling and its implications for Trump's financial and legal future. As expected, Donald Trump has stated that he plans to appeal the ruling. This appeal could potentially cost him all of his available cash. In the world of high-stakes business and politics, few names have garnered as much attention and controversy as Donald Trump. From his real estate empire to his reality TV, fame, and ultimately his presidency, Trump has always been a polarizing figure. But now, he finds himself at the center of a legal storm that threatens to dismantle his carefully crafted image of success and wealth. Donald Trump, the 45th President of the United States, has long boasted about his wealth and business acumen. He presented himself as a self-made billionaire, a master dealmaker who turned his father's real estate business into a global empire. But behind the glitz and glamour, a different story was unfolding. In recent years, questions began to arise about the accuracy of Trump's financial statements. Accusations of fraud and deception started to swirl, leading to investigations and legal battles that would ultimately culminate in a landmark civil fraud case. New York vs. the Trump Organization. In early 2019, the New York Attorney General's office launched a civil investigation into the Trump Organization, led by the relentless Letitia James. The allegations were shocking, suggesting a widespread financial fraud scheme that involved inflating property values and deceiving lenders and tax officials. The lawsuit, brought forth by New York Attorney General Letitia James, alleges that Trump and his sons engaged in a decade-long scheme to defraud lenders. According to James, they used numerous acts of fraud and misrepresentation to inflate Trump's net worth, all in an effort to secure more favorable loan terms. The accusations against Trump and his sons are nothing short of shocking. They are accused of showing a complete lack of integrity and honesty, with the aim of benefiting themselves financially. The lawsuit claims that their actions not only deceived lenders, but also undermined the integrity of the financial system. These allegations strike at the heart of Trump's business empire and his credibility as a businessman. The investigation focused on the alleged asset inflation by the Trump Organization, where properties were valued higher for lenders than for tax officials. The Attorney General's office had uncovered evidence suggesting that Donald Trump and his company falsely and fraudulently valued multiple assets, painting a picture of a calculated and deliberate scheme to manipulate financial records. As the investigation gained momentum, subpoenas were issued to the Trump Organization, demanding the production of crucial records. However, the organization initially failed to comply, leading to legal battles and attempts to block the investigation. But Letitia James and her team were undeterred, fighting tooth and nail to obtain the necessary evidence to build their case. In February 2022, a significant breakthrough occurred when the presiding judge ruled in favor of the Attorney General's subpoenas, forcing the Trump Organization to hand over the requested records. This ruling marked a turning point in the investigation as it revealed the court's determination to uncover the truth behind the alleged financial fraud. The investigation continued to gain traction, revealing discrepancies in property valuations and financial statements. The evidence collected by the Attorney General's office painted a damning picture of a company that had systematically manipulated its financial records for years. In August 2020, the investigation reached a critical milestone as public litigation began. The allegations against the Trump Organization and its key figures, including members of the Trump family, were now out in the open for the world to see. The media frenzy surrounding the case intensified, with news outlets closely following every twist and turn. The charges brought against the Trump Organization were nothing short of shocking. The New York Attorney General's office alleged that the defendants violated New York executive law by presenting vastly different property values to lenders and tax officials. This violation, if proven, could have severe legal consequences for the accused. The trial, which commenced in October 2023, was a highly anticipated event. The courtroom was packed with journalists, spectators, and legal teams eager to witness the unfolding drama. Letitia James, armed with a mountain of evidence, presented her case to prove the allegations of fraud and financial misconduct. Over the course of a 2.5-month trial, the courtroom became a stage for a battle of legal titans as Trump's defense team clashed with the prosecution, led by Letitia James. Trump himself made frequent appearances in the courtroom, turning the trial into a spectacle. He used the opportunity to address the media, expressing his grievances and proclaiming his innocence. But as the trial progressed, it became clear that the evidence against him was mounting. During the trial, witnesses took the stand, providing jaw-dropping testimonies that shed light on the alleged fraudulent practices within the Trump Organization. Former employees, including accountants and controllers, provided invaluable insights into the company's financial practices, revealing the inner workings of a business empire built on questionable foundations. One of the most shocking revelations came on October 10th, when it was disclosed that Donald Trump had acknowledged the true size of his Trump Tower penthouse in 1994, but later inflated the figure in financial documents. This revelation exposed a deliberate attempt to mislead lenders and inflate the value of the property. On October 11th, a former Deutsche Bank risk management officer testified that Trump's financial statements had helped him obtain larger loans and lower interest rates. This testimony provided a glimpse into the intricate web of deception woven by the Trump Organization to secure favorable financial arrangements. The trial took another dramatic turn on October 12th when it was revealed that Trump's 3 oldest children, Don Trump Jr., Eric Trump, and Ivanka Trump, had inquired about finances, and Alan Weisselberg, the Trump Organization's chief financial officer, had signed an agreement preventing his voluntary cooperation with investigators. These revelations hinted at a potential cover-up or an attempt to obstruct the investigation. As the trial progressed, more shocking details emerged. On October 19th, it was suggested that the organization had withheld subpoenaed evidence, casting further doubt on the credibility of the defendants. A real estate investment trust executive testified that he had partially relied on Trump's financial statements in securing a loan, exposing the potential ripple effects of the alleged fraud. The prosecution's case continued to build momentum, with each testimony adding another layer of complexity to the allegations against the Trump Organization. On November 1st, Donald Trump Jr. testified that he was not involved in preparing his father's financial statements, attempting to distance himself from any potential wrongdoing. However, on November 8th, Ivanka Trump took the stand and testified that she was involved in negotiating and securing favorable loans for the organization, raising questions about her level of involvement in the alleged fraud. The defense's case began on November 13th, with testimony from Don Jr. as a character witness. However, on November 29th, an independent monitor revealed that the organization had made undisclosed transfers of millions of dollars to Donald Trump, suggesting a potential attempt to hide assets or evade financial obligations. Throughout the trial, Trump and his defense team maintained that the financial statements were prepared by outside accountants who should have flagged any discrepancies. They also argued that disclaimers on the documents shielded shielded Trump from liability. After months of riveting testimonies and legal battles, the trial went to the closing argument phase. Shortly before closing arguments, Trump expressed a desire to personally address the court during the defense's concluding statement. On January 10, 2024, Judge Engoron granted Trump permission to discuss relevant material facts that are in evidence and application of the relevant law, with the caveat that he couldn't introduce new evidence, delve into irrelevant matters, or deliver a campaign speech. Trump's legal team objected, leading Engoron to ultimately prohibit Trump from making closing arguments. On the same day, Trump took to social media, denouncing the judge as a Trump-hating judge attempting to screw him. In a bizarre turn of events on the morning of January 11, 2024, as closing arguments were scheduled, a swatting threat targeted Engoron's home, though no bomb was discovered. Trump, making his 9th appearance during the trial, showed up in person. Allowed to speak briefly, he once again asserted his innocence, alleging persecution by someone running for office, and declaring, "I'm being persecuted by someone running for office, and I think you have to go outside the bounds." Engoron intervened, cutting him off after approximately 6 minutes. The civil fraud trial against Donald Trump and the Trump Organization reached a shocking climax with a recent ruling that has sent shockwaves through the nation. Impact of the judgment on Trump. The ruling has raised questions about the future of Donald Trump's businesses and his potential political ambitions. With such a substantial financial penalty, it remains to be seen whether Trump will be able to maintain his current lifestyle and financial standing. First and foremost, the ruling could result in a significant financial blow. The trial has the potential to drain all of Trump's cash, leaving him in a precarious financial situation. With fines and penalties that could amount to hundreds of millions of dollars, Trump may be forced to liquidate assets, sell off properties, and make drastic financial decisions to cover the massive loss. This financial strain could have a ripple effect throughout Trump's business empire. The Trump Organization, known for its luxury properties and high-profile ventures, may face a decline in value and reputation. Investors and partners may distance themselves from the brand, and the once prestigious empire that Trump built over the years could crumble. Furthermore, the ruling could have a profound impact on Trump's ability to secure future loans and investments. With a tarnished reputation and potential legal liabilities, financial institutions may be hesitant to engage in business dealings with him. This could limit Trump's access to capital and hinder his ability to fund new projects or expand his existing ventures. The consequences of the civil fraud ruling extend beyond Trump himself. His family business, which has been a cornerstone of his empire, could suffer irreparable damage. Layoffs, closures, and a loss of credibility may become inevitable as the financial strain takes its toll. The once thriving Trump Organization could be left reeling from the aftermath of the trial. The impact of the civil fraud ruling is not to be underestimated. It has the potential to reshape Trump's financial landscape and leave a lasting impact on his legacy. The outcome of the trial could have significant ramifications for Trump's political aspirations. Trump's business identity has been closely intertwined with his political career. His status as a successful businessman played a significant role in his rise to the presidency, but the court ruling threatens to tarnish his legacy and the perception of his achievements. Trump's supporters have long admired his business acumen and viewed him as a champion of the working class. They saw him as someone who could navigate the complexities of the business world and bring prosperity to the nation. The court ruling challenges this narrative, potentially eroding his support base. The ruling has reignited debates about ethics, transparency, and the accountability of public figures. The allegations of fraudulent practices within Trump's business dealings have raised questions about his suitability for public office and the potential conflicts of interest that may arise. This could have a direct impact on any future political ambitions he may have, potentially derailing his chances of a political comeback, a comeback he has been anticipating since 2020. In the aftermath of an unsuccessful bid for a second term in the 2020 United States presidential election, Donald Trump found himself at the center of a tumultuous political landscape. Losing to Democratic nominee Joe Biden, Trump faced a resounding defeat with an electoral vote tally of 232 against Biden's 306, coupled with a popular vote deficit of 7 million votes. Refusing to concede, Trump contested the election results, alleging foul play and asserting that the election had been stolen from him. Amidst the political turmoil, Trump, undeterred by the election setback, contemplated an immediate return to the presidential race in 2024. In November 2020, he hinted at such a possibility. The tumultuous climax of Trump's presidency occurred on January 6, 2021, when a group of his supporters attacked the United States Capitol building to disrupt the certification of the election results. A week before the end of his presidency, Trump faced impeachment by the the House of Representatives for incitement of insurrection. The subsequent Senate trial, however, ended in acquittal, falling short of the required two-thirds majority. As the dust settled, Trump's political future hung in the balance. In December 2021, CNN reported that his indecision about the 2024 election had put a freeze on the Republican presidential primary. Potential contenders remained cautious, awaiting Trump's official decision. By July 2022, amid ongoing public hearings on the Capitol attack, speculation heightened about Trump's intentions. An interview published on July 14, 2022, suggested that Trump had already made up his mind, mulling the timing of his official announcement. The FBI's August 2022 search of Mar-a-Lago prompted some allies to urge an earlier candidacy declaration, contrary to previous advice. Ending months of speculation, Donald Trump officially declared his candidacy for the presidency in a speech to supporters on November 15, 2022, at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. However, in the months leading to the 2024 U.S. election, Donald Trump has found himself entangled in a web of criminal indictments and a civil investigation that threatened to overshadow his political aspirations. The legal storm began brewing shortly after Trump announced his campaign, with multiple criminal indictments looming over him and his business empire, the Trump Organization. 4 criminal indictments were filed against Trump, alleging various financial crimes and misconduct. These charges sent shockwaves through the political landscape and raised questions about the integrity of his campaign. One of the charges originates in New York, centering around hush money paid to a porn star, with the presiding judge recently establishing a trial date of March 25th. Simultaneously, Trump is entangled in legal woes in Florida, where he faces charges concerning the mishandling of classified documents following his departure from office. The legal saga doesn't end there. Additional charges have been levied against him in Washington and Georgia, stemming from his concerted efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election. These criminal indictments against Trump and the Trump Organization are serious allegations that could have significant implications for his campaign. It remains to be seen how these legal battles will unfold. The indictments cast a shadow over Trump's campaign, with critics arguing that a candidate facing such serious charges should not be running for the highest office in the land. The fact that Trump is running for president while facing criminal indictments raises serious ethical questions. It undermines the integrity of our political system and the rule of law. In addition to the criminal indictments, a civil investigation was launched into the Trump Organization, further complicating Trump's political ambitions. Despite the legal challenges and controversies, Trump's campaign continued to gather momentum, with national primary polling showing him leading by a significant margin over other candidates. This strong support within his party made Trump the presumptive nominee for the Republican Party, despite the legal cloud hanging over his campaign. Trump's lead in the primary polls is a testament to his enduring popularity within the Republican Party. It's clear that many voters are willing to overlook the legal challenges and controversies surrounding his campaign. As the legal battles raged on, Trump remained defiant, vowing to fight the charges and proclaiming his innocence. According to Trump, these indictments and investigations are nothing more than political witch hunts.
This is Russia, this is China, this is the same game. All comes out of the DOJ, it all comes out of Biden. It's a witch hunt against his political opponent, the likes of which our country has never seen before.
The legal challenges and controversies surrounding Trump's campaign added a layer of complexity to an already contentious political landscape. The outcome of these legal battles would undoubtedly shape the trajectory of Trump's political aspirations. In response to these legal battles, Trump has consistently maintained his innocence, entering a plea of not guilty in each of the aforementioned cases. As the legal proceedings unfold on multiple fronts, former president finds himself navigating a complex web of legal challenges that span different jurisdictions and diverse allegations, each carrying its own set of implications and potential consequences. The intricate dance between Trump and the justice system unfolds against a backdrop of political and legal scrutiny, leaving observers on the edge of their seats as they await the resolution of these multifaceted legal entanglements. Regardless of the outcome, it is clear that Trump's financial empire will face significant challenges. The potential financial blow and the subsequent impact on his business ventures could reshape the landscape of his empire. It remains to be seen whether Trump will be able to recover from the fallout and rebuild his financial standing. The civil fraud trial against former President Donald J. Trump has far-reaching implications for his finances, his business empire, and his political career. The potential consequences of the ruling could drain his cash reserves, force him to make drastic financial decisions, and leave a lasting impact on his reputation. As Trump vows to appeal the court ruling, the future remains uncertain. The legal battles he faces, combined with the financial penalties, could have consequences. They may reshape his business ventures and force him to reevaluate his strategies. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.